Happy Sunday, everybody. As I said when I started college a couple months ago, I'd keep people up to date and posted. I did pass all three of my classes, which I'm really excited about. I wanted to read my final essay for composition, which I did extremely well in that class. It's called The Blessings of Finding My Son, and actually my son found me. But it starts off as I chose the reading by Peter Murchiro titled We Found Our Son in the Subway. Along with being a very emotional story that pulled at my heart strings, it affected me for another reason. In the story, Danny, a surprising discovery of a baby in New York subway station. After a very long time consuming process, Danny and his partner walked out of the courtroom as parents. I knew what it was like to be a parent in my 20s, and I cherished those memories. Losing all contact with my son when he was 9 years old broke my heart. But just as Danny's story has a happy ending, so does mine. Through my situation of being separated from my son and just recently being reunited, I know the importance of having a family and the joy it can bring to your life. My story is like Danny's, but instead of having a son and being able to raise him, I just recently reconnected with my adult son. For several years now, I have posted videos on YouTube about social issues that I care about deeply. I did not realize that my son Jamie was watching these videos, wondering how he could reconnect with me. On one video, I gave my email address. I was thrilled that Jamie had the courage to email me and inquire about my life and wondering if I remembered him at all. Just as Danny was excited to become a dad, I was just as excited to be dad again to my adult son. After the email, we contacted each other on the phone, just as Danny and his partner was excited about sharing holidays and getting to love and know the little abandoned child. I was excited about having my son back in my life. We had missed so much over the years. It was fun to talk and catch up on all the events in life that happened. While we were apart, I also have been able to reconnect with the mother of my ex-wife. Life takes unexpected turns, just as Danny found out the day he went to the subway and found the baby Ace, who was later named Kevin, his loved and cherished son. What makes a family is deciding to have a relationship. I now have my own immediate family back in my life, and we are building back the relationship we had lost. Family is everything. You can count on them and depend on them. They make your life whole. This story, We Found Our Son in the Subway by Peter Murchiro, is about the importance of having a family. It is about connecting, or in my case, reconnecting with my son and building a relationship with him. It's about building love and trust with someone that depends on you, and you can depend on them. The story was a happy ending with a couple being able to adopt this abandoned baby and build a relationship that will last a lifetime. I am also looking forward to meaningful relationships with my son and my ex-wife that can last for the rest of my life and theirs. Um, I could have also done it on my parents who adopted myself, my brother, and my two sisters when we were all babies. But the way my son was able to find me was unique. It's only heard about in stories or in TV movies. So I was really thrilled, that I had the opportunity to be able to write this paper and incorporate my son into it as well. And I'm sure there'll be many more. I'm taking 2 more English classes next semester, which starts in, I think, September. Um, my goal for going back to college was to be able to work with addicts, to help them with their recovery. And lately, I didn't always make the best choice of being friends with certain people that I thought were decent, that robbed me, stole just about everything I owned. You know, when you invite people into your life, you got to kind of remember that addicts can't be trusted while they're using. Now, granted, I did not know they were using at the time, and it's kind of put a sour taste in my mouth, but I still want to work with people with addictions. It could be sex offenders, drug addiction, of any kind, because there's always hope where people can change and become better people. Society doesn't always want to give us that chance, but we as people need to look at others and realize they can change if they choose to want to. That does not mean you have to let them back in your life. You can forgive somebody and still have nothing to do with them. The forgiveness part is basically for yourself, so you're not dwelling on what happened, but you're dwelling on positive things that then no longer going to control your life. And 1 John 1:9, it says, He is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Then in the Lord's Prayer, if you don't forgive others, God will not forgive you. So it's important to forgive people. We have a judging world that wants to remember stuff that you did 30, 40 years ago and dwell on that, instead of realizing people can change for the better. And that's one reason I'm going to college now. I got my family back in my life, at least part of my family. I don't know if it will always be back to what it was at one time, but I'm really excited, and I'm thrilled that my son turned out to be a nice young man. Very intelligent when it comes to home repairs and home remodeling. Something that I'm not. I'm more of a landscaper and a gardener, but he can fix just about anything. So we gotta give him a lot of credit on that. So, and I'm really excited about school. Within a year and a few months, I'm hoping to be able to work at least a few years with people with addictions. I'm already 62, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to work. Depends on health, I guess. But the positive side, everything is looking up, and I'm so glad and grateful that God has brought my son back in my life. As I said in videos in the past, when I had my stroke in 2020, I kept praying to God that I didn't want to die without my children back into my life. He's answered the prayers. Because I'm almost didn't make it to this point. But God stood by my side throughout all of this. And He's going to continue to lead me in the direction that He wants me to go. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.